How's everyone doing? I hope you're having a good week so far. Mine's been bittersweet. I got a new editing gig, which I love because don't get me wrong, I love creating my own content and editing it, but there's another like natural high you get when someone's like, here's my content and this is my vision, can you make it happen? And the best feeling is when someone's like, that's better than I even envisioned it. So the reason why I decided to come on here today was to vent a little bit of frustration, because that's what I do. And one of the things that's weighing on me once again is my website. Now, long story as short as I can make it, back in about 2008, 9-ish, I had a website, shellymartinez.com. It was really fun. It was really cute. The way I had it set up is I didn't have money at the time to pay a webmaster. So I joined up with these two fellas that's what they did. They had sites for people. And what we would do was the agreement was we would split the money. I'd get half and then they would split their half between each other. Well, one of the dudes told me what I needed to do to make money on the site. I told him that's not what I was trying to do. So I parted ways with them, just being like, I'm not feeling this anymore. So what ended up happening is when I tried to do my site myself, shellymartinez.com wasn't available. And so I hit them up. I was like, hey, I need my site. And they're like, oh, we have nothing to do with that. Well, one of them moved to Utah and it was registered to somebody in Utah. So you're not going to tell me that one of you, the one that moved to Utah, doesn't own it. Yes, you do. So when I started my second site, which was shellymartinez.org, that's why I went to .org. And my friend Natalie, shout out to Natalie, she's the one that was like, okay, I'm going to show you. My whole purpose in working on your site is to guide you, to show you how you can do your website, because I want you to be able to know how to do it yourself. You can be hands-on. I know you can do it. So that's exactly what we did. Then I took a break from doing paid sites for a while because I was doing the whole wrestling independent indie scene really strong at that point, and just totally doing it on the weekends full time. It was my thing. Not that I was not creating still, Minnie. Not that I wasn't creating still, but it was more I was just more focused on wrestling, getting my bookings, doing the shows, and filming the shows. You know what I mean? Versus doing a paid site, which I should have done, which is dumb because I could have whatever. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So then when I went to go do my secret society, that's when I was like, I'm just going to call it something completely different. And that's when I did the whole secret society thing. Well, throughout the years of figuring all that out, I was having issues with my secret society because I didn't want to have to use a third-party platform. And I was trying to get away from that, just to be old school, have my site, and that's just what's up. And I kept getting ripped off or treated poorly by these different people. And I would vent, some of you that have been watching my stuff, vent online about it. And this gal I know through wrestling, she hit me up. She's like, hey, do you need help with your site? I told her what the problem was. She told me the price. At the time, I didn't have the money. So I told her I'd let her know when I had the money. And then she's like, don't worry about it. You could pay me in payments. I was like, awesome. To me, I felt like I have the answer now. Well, it worked out well for a while, but then towards the end, it just seemed after the communicating just was such a problem. Some of the stuff that I was asking her if she could do, she wasn't really doing, and pretty much the vibe was to figure it out yourself. And so I'm like, okay. So to me, I kind of took it as she looked at it as she was doing me a favor. She was just trying to help me out, whatever. So I paid her all her money, and whenever I'd have issues with my site, I would just come to her, give her a small fee for working on it, whatever. It was fine. So I decided that it was time to move forward with shellymartinez.net and having the secret society on there. And I've had it on there for a little bit, but I did it myself because from jumping through all these hoops, spending all this money and trying to have other people do it, it just was a fail. So I did it myself in a very Bush League way because I'm queen of the Bush League. And I was having these issues. Like, it was working good enough to where on the user's end, it was looking good. They didn't know it was bush leagued, but there was this issue with the billing, and it was really annoying because people would try to get into the site after they got charged, and they couldn't log in, and I had to go in there manually. So if they signed up when I didn't know, like if I'm sleeping or if I wasn't around my phone or whatever, it became a thing. So I asked a old pal of mine, Daniel Puder, OVW alumni, because he knows a lot of different people. He does all kinds of different marketing and social media stuff. So I asked if he knew anyone. He's like, oh yeah. So he hooked me up with this awesome agency. And when they've been trying to connect with the gal who did my site before, mind you, she's been paid in full for at least over a year. My site ended up, I ended up changing everything she did. So like, it was reconstructed by me. I still paid her to fix little glitch problems here and there. So it was fine. And so when I started telling her that these people needed this info, she was hard to get a hold of. And then they would tell, I would think that things were getting worked on, and they're like, hey, we still haven't heard from her. So I would text her, and then every time it seemed like the excuse was maybe it was in my junk mail. And I was like, well, how many times can you say it's in your junk mail? Because like, didn't you approve them and it shouldn't go in your junk mail anymore? So last we heard was, I believe it was last Thursday, when she said that she was going to be sending over all the information that they needed the next day, which never happened. I thought over the weekend everything was going, like it was being worked on, and then I got a message saying that they were still waiting on her. So then I texted her and I didn't hear anything. Now this is the first time I just didn't hear anything from her. Then I texted her the next day and I didn't hear anything. Now, something about me is I'm a huge worrier. I think bad case scenarios. So then I was sitting here and I was like, dude, what if like she got the COVID and like she died, and I'm over here like blowing her phone up about my stupid website? Like, I'm an asshole. Like, you just never know. Or what if like there's some kind of like emergency going on in her life, and then I'm like stressing her out by texting her over and over about my stupid website, because that's what it becomes when real life things happen, right? And so I felt like such a jerk, and I carried that guilt with me for like a full day, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so when I didn't hear after that second text, I wrote her, I was like, I hope you're okay. And I was so worried at this point to where it wasn't even about my site. I just was like worried about her well-being. So then I went onto Facebook like a psycho, and to see if she had posted anything. She hadn't posted anything since Easter. And then I thought, uh-oh, what if she's one of those people that have me on that setting where I only see some of her posts? So we had a mutual friend, and I wrote to my friend and I was like, hey, is this her last post on your end? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I saw on the messenger that she had been active like within that hour. And then later in the day, I went back like a psycho. So now I feel like a complete psycho. And then it said that she was on like 45 minutes ago. So I was like, okay, she's okay. Because, oh, I wrote her on Facebook too. I private messaged her, I hope you're okay. Nothing. So then now I'm mad, and I feel stupid that I allowed a whole day of me thinking, what if something terrible happened or something very serious is going on in her life, and I'm the biggest jerk in the entire universe because I keep asking about my stupid website. I felt so dumb. So dumb. So I wrote her and I was like, I just feel like you're ignoring me and I don't understand why. Still didn't hear anything. So like a psycho, I went back on Facebook to see she's been active. She had. I feel like such an idiot. Such an idiot. Gosh. So then I wrote her and I was just like, look, I paid you all your money. This is my website. Like, I never thought I would go through this with you, and I didn't. Like, I honestly, like, maybe this is my bad for assuming that she wouldn't do this, but like, I can't believe she would do that to another female who's very much struggling to like get things going and to be an independent woman, you know what I mean? And to do things on her terms and jumping through the hoops that she's got to and go through all the bull crap. That's why she hit me up, because she saw that I was bitching, moaning, and complaining that I was being screwed over by all these men out there. And I'm thinking it's these men webmasters, these men web designers. And then now this happens and I'm just like, dude, like what the hell? So now I'm at the point where I'm like, great. So Utah owns ShellyMartinez.com. Again, I'm Shelly Effin Martinez, bitch. So I don't know why you care for it. You're not making money off of it. I barely make any money off of my name. So you're gonna, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. If money was involved, if this gal was making money somehow off of my website, it would make sense. Or if I still owed her money, it would make sense. But I can't understand what the hell's going on when this is my effing website, my effing name. There's only, like, I know, okay, there are other Shelly Martinez's out there, but in this case, like, there's one Shelly Martinez that's putting ShellyMartinez.com out there, and that's me. So, like, what? It's just like a violation to the max, and I'm so dumb for not doing some kind of contract with her. I thought, again, she reached out to me, so I'm thinking she's trying to be a homegirl, trying to like look out and hook me up. Payment plan. So yeah, I didn't think about making some kind of contract. And then it's just been nuts. So I'm probably gonna have to figure out something simple, like ShellyMartinezblog.com or something, and I had to effing start over. So all the blood, sweat, and tears that I have put into my content, hours of editing, putting my makeup on, shooting, coming up with ideas, podcasting, using other people and collaborating with them and putting it all together, all gone. Because this bitch over here is ignoring us. And it doesn't make sense. And I think I especially take it personal, even though I know I shouldn't, because it's another female doing this to me. Another female that knows how it is, and she's doing me dirty like this. But I know everything happens for a reason. I know the Lord is always protecting me. So fine. So stay tuned for the saga that is my effing website. So what I'm going to be doing is, for my secret society, it's going to just be Patreon or OnlyFans. Again, you can still go to ShellySecretSociety.com. It'll pop up both the links. You can choose. It's really disappointing. I feel very disrespected. I don't understand why I deserve this. But at the same time, we don't always understand why things happen to us. But later in life, when we're not harping on it and we let it go, life has a way of bringing things full circle and you find out the truth. So I'm really, really trying to just remind myself of that and not get too worked up about it. But it's hard because you guys, putting so much of my soul into my content for years, hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just so effed up. It's so effed up. Anyways, let this be a lesson to anyone out there. Always get things in the contract. All right. I gotta go walk Minnie, put all this stuff up that I shot. Talk to you guys later. Adios.